Welcome to Fallout 76, this is Jim. In this video we're going to take a look at completing daily challenges for today, Friday, October 24th, 2025. Let's take a look at it and see what we got for today. Alright, we got some good ones here. I have many videos on my channel that'll help you guys out. I get different ideas, different locations, easy areas, hard areas, everything if you're bringing a new player to the game, a returning player, even an experienced player. There's a particular daily, weekly challenge that's giving you a hard time or trouble. I'm sure you'll find a video on my channel that'll help you. Try to keep my videos as updated as I possibly can. Of course, you guys are awesome with the great comments and tips, which are greatly appreciated. Of course, I apologize for the lateness of the video. I do have some more construction going on here at my home, windows, doors, and siding, so I had to make these videos a little bit later than I normally do on my days off. If you do wonder why I have slightly more score than you, take at the top right hand corner of the screen, I have a 60% boost. Of course, 25% of that comes right off the current Season 22 Season Pass on 3 pages, a 5%, 10%, additional 10%, in which you can claim by being a Fallout First member, or by paying the 1,500 items for the Season Pass. Another 25% comes from drinking a Spore Booster drink, gives us an extra 25% for 24 hours, and we drank that one there yesterday, or I guess early this morning when I made the weekly challenge video. And as you can see here, we have 13 hours left on that. And then the extra 10%, that comes from claiming a trial, Fallout First trial. Even though I pay for Fallout First and I claim that trial, I still get that extra 10%, which is pretty awesome. And that's why it's 60%. So let's take a look at that real quick here now that we're talking about it. We go to the Atomic Shop, we have the Fallout First limited trial. Let's go ahead and inspect it here. And again, this is pretty cool that they do this. I'm surprised that they don't have, they didn't have it sooner. I know back in the day, they used to have it 2 or 3 times a year. I think last year was maybe only once or twice, if that. And then this year, this is like the first time. And I always mention that, it's for them to, if they want more people to, join with memberships, it's good to have the trials more often. And again, we have this trial right up to October 28th, 2025. Now, back in the day, we only used to have them for the weekend. But now they actually have a full week, so maybe that's why they do. They kind of scale it back, but who knows? At least they offer it anyway. But as you can see there right at the very bottom, once when you claim it, you get a 10% score boost. Even though I pay for Fallout First already, I still get that extra 10% boost, which is pretty cool. I'll definitely take it. But just a little FYI there, how that works. Okay, let's take a look at these challenges here. I did complete one here by mistake. I had a bunch of junk on me, and my guy was a little overweight, so of course I scrapped it all in my scrap box. And then this one here popped up as being complete, but we're still going to go through it anyway. So scrap junk to produce oil 5. So again, oil is a junk item, which we can use the bulk and scrap method at any Tinker's Workbench here in the game. We just walk up to any Tinker's Workbench. We're going to use the one here in our camp. Just 1 second here. And then all you have to do is you go craft, and then you go down here to bulk, go down here to the O section. So to bulk 1 oil, all you need is 2 plastic and 10 waste oil from your stash of scrap box. You go ahead, you bulk your 1 oil, and then you scrap it. It's hands down the fastest, quickest, easiest way to complete this daily challenge. It's more so for the folks that are kind of short on time, or for people like to get things done quick and easy. Bulk and scrap method is definitely where it's at for most junk items here in the game. Now, if you are legitimately looking for oil, I have about 5 to 7 standalone videos I made in early 2023. They're in the little playlist here on the channel. All you have to do is click one, and then just kind of keeps playing one right after the other. But I show you some great locations for scrap junk to produce oil. That is before we learned the bulk and scrap method, actually. And that's why they're kind of laid out as they are, because we had them, I think it was like a week or two, it was like back to back to back. Scrap junk to produce oil. It was quite something. And I showed you some great locations. So we go after gas canisters, fuel tanks, etc. Let's take a look at a couple of great locations here. Of course, we have the WV Lumber & Co., Blue Ridge Bunkhouse, Settlers Ridge. Right down here, another pretty good spot, Mount Blair Train. Yeah, now, whether you spawn in BattleBot or not, you'll have access to that bunker right on the top. And there's a couple of fuel tanks and gas canisters right on the top of the bunker. So if you don't want to bother doing that event, that's fine. You don't have to gain access to that bunker if you don't want to. Another pretty decent spot is right over here. It is Sugar Grove, a little bit higher level area. Just 1 second. Again, a lot higher level area, lots of robots here, but in the main office area, there's quite a few gas canisters in there. probably one of the best spots here in game, believe it or not, is Toxic Larry's Meet and Go. There's 3 Snallygasters there. I call them the triplets. Great spot for gas canisters and fuel tanks right over there. And just up from Silva Homestead, we have the Red Barn right up on the hill. Again, lots of fuel tanks and gas canisters there. And that's where we're going to go here today. Now, we did this the other day, but we were on a server with other people, so somebody already had cleared it out. So we're going to head back here today so we can show you these fuel tanks. Right, so we're going to boogie on past this little cornfield here, right up to that red barn. Now this is a site for a little event there called Project Beanstalk. It's a pretty easy event to do, especially if you're lower level. And I'm going to pop right in here, turn our little light on here, nice. So we have some fuel tanks here, so let's take a look at that there. So Mr. Handy Fuels, you can see there 2 oil for one of those. So 2 or 6. And I think all we need is 5. Let's take a look here. All we need is 5, just like that. And again, blow torches are a good source. Those little oiler cans, sometimes they're pristine, sometimes they're used. You'll find them. Aluminum canisters are also a good source. This guy here, industrial oil canister. Great little spot for scrap junk to produce oil. So let's go ahead. We're going to head back actually to our camp and scrap this stuff. Again, you can go to anywhere where there's a workbench. There's a couple workbenches down by the little quasi hut there. You can go to another player's camp or have you. We're just going to set ourselves up for the next challenge by going back to our camp, basically. All right, let's go ahead here. Let's go ahead and scrap this stuff up. And as you can see, item stats there, 2 oil each. Just like that. All right. Of course, we already had it done, but again, the bulk and scrap method definitely rules for that one. All right. Oh, it sounds like we get some company there. Let's go ahead and oh, that's Graham. Oh, he's stuck behind the garage over there. Huh. Interesting. Let's take a look at the next one here real quick. Scrap junk to produce acid 5. So again, just like the oil, acid is a junk item in which we can scrap, use the bulk and scrap method at any tinker's workbench here in the game. So again, just like the oil, we walk up to any tinker's workbench, we go ahead and go craft. Go down here to bulk, and right at the very top, bulk acid, all you need is 2 plastic and 15 waste acid from your stash or scrap box. Go ahead, you bulk your 1 acid, then you scrap it. Again, hands down, the fastest, quickest, easiest way to complete this daily challenge. More so for the folks that are kind of short on time, for people like to get things done quick and easy, the bulk and scrap method is definitely where it's at for most junk items here in the game. Now we do have a camp resource available to us that will passively collect acid. Not that one. I don't even know if I even have it in this camp, actually. It is the... Oh, yeah, I do over here. It is this butterfly sanctuary. As you can see there, I'll passively collect 10 waste acid. Now, this is the OG one, the very first one we ever got. The other variation of this one is called the Mothman Moth Sanctuary. But it's just basically a reskin of this bad boy. So just an FYI, you see that in your in the atomic shop, you know, kind of well worth it to get. Alright, so again, we could do it the bulk and scrap way. Again, a great way to get acid is fertilizer. Okay, so bags of fertilizer will give you 1 acid. We have all kinds of that at the Wixon Homestead. In the red shed, there's probably about 7 or 8 bags of fertilizer there. And right where we are at, actually, Silva Homestead, and that red barn, we have the chlorine bag. So let's head back to Silva Homestead, and that way there you'll be able to do the collect them both at the same time, if you so wish. If you don't, choose the bulk and scrap method. Okay, so we're back here again. We're going to head right back up to this red barn here. Alright, so we have these bags of chlorine here, and again, there's no bags of chlorine here, but that's fine. I believe we have this rat poison, and again, no, rat poison does not give us acid, no, surprisingly. We do have 1 bag of chlorine up here. So we must have come here lately to collect, and maybe that's why these bags aren't here. I haven't really reset my game since then, but if we take a look at 1 bag of chlorine, you can see there are 3 acid. per bag of chlorine. Let's check this antifreeze bottle. Yeah, right off. So the red antifreeze bottles, you can see there's 2 acid there as well, plus the 3. That would give us the 5 that we need, which is pretty awesome. Let's try this, the regular cleaner here, Abraxo cleaner. Right there, 1 acid and plus 2 antiseptic for that Abraxo cleaner. So again, we still have other options here. If you do come here and someone missed those other items, you can go ahead and do it that way. So let's head down this little quasi hut here, and we'll scrap this up at this workbench. There's a couple workbenches in here. Oh. There we go. Whoa. Oh, you're stuck. Oh, the little bugger pushed us right in here, didn't he? See if we can crouch and get out of here. Well, let's head back to our camp. That's what that means. We are stuck. Stuck in a rock and a hard place there. Or a forklift and a shelf. Courtesy of Mr. Radroach. So funny. And again, you can scrap this up at any workbench. It's fine. Other players' camp, train stations, down at the mall, what have you. Let's go ahead and scrap this up, and then we can see the item stats there right in the middle. With the exception of that rat poison, of course. I thought the rat poison did have acid for some reason, but it has asbestos. There we go. Scrap trying to produce acid, 5 for 5 done. Alright, let's take a look at the next one here, Jim. Now these two here we can kind of do at the same time as well as this, okay? So let's go ahead, kill a cultist 10. So again, we can find Mothman eggs in around cultists, but not all areas, okay? But that's fine. But in terms of cultists here in the wasteland, we go back to our map screen here, Jimmy boy. Basically looking for this particular icon here. Right now, real squishy guys, of course, we have Clancy Manor. Oregon Cave, again, there's 3 entrances to Oregon Cave. If you're looking for a 4th one, you'll never find it. Again, Point Pleasant, again, one of the only exceptions to not that particular icon. But we know there's at least 20 cultists here. Down here at the Kanawha County Cemetery. Right up here at the Sacrament. The Moth Home right over here. Of course, we have the Johnson's Acre. Lucky Hole Mine's a pretty good spot there as well. Alright, so let's go ahead here. We're going to head to the Kanawha County Cemetery here. Alright, now we can also get our Mothman eggs here as well, but it's right from that shed. But we're going to go ahead and kill the cultists here first. Now, back in the day, these guys used to kind of populate the entire outside during the day. But I find nowadays, for whatever reason, they had changed that. They kind of hang out more so in the church. So if you have a couple of grenades, it would be even better. We're going to boogie on up here. Now, this is a popular spot if you are on a server with other people. So just kind of keep that in mind. As these guys come out again, if you have a couple grenades, you can just kind of throw them in there. Even a couple of nuke bombs will work quite well. Throw a couple in there and you'll take out all of them with just those couple grenades. It's absolutely fantastic. Bunch of guys up top there. Let's keep going. Don't usually hang out up this part here. Usually maybe 1 or 2 does, but I find they change this game so often. That's quite something there, isn't it? There you go, kill a cultist 10 for 10, done just like that. It's a nice little spot. Alright, good stuff. Go ahead and float down here. We're going to collect all the ammo as we can. And the caps. Why not? Lots of great ammo here we picked up. That's a good little haul there. Especially for only using a couple rounds. There we go. Your buddy echoing somewhere. I don't know where that cat's at. He's upstairs somewhere. God, that's funny. Alright, good stuff. So let's take a look at the next one here. Collect Mothman eggs 3. So again, many great spots we can find Mothman eggs, and I do have a couple of great standalone videos. Again, I made in early 2023. They're a little rough on the audio, but they're still solid here today. There's actually one I actually had to unlist because there's no longer Mothman eggs or cultists there. And again, it's a totally different spot. It's the Rose Room there now, but I unlisted that particular video. But in terms of Mothman eggs, Kanawha County Cemetery, right where we are at. Right up here in Point Pleasant, right at the water's edge, and in around the Mothman statue right next to the museum. Right inside Oregon Cave. Again, not a whole lot there, but there is a little patch there. There's a little patch up here at the Sacrament as well. And a little patch down here at the Lucky Hole Mine. Not a whole lot around Johnson's Acre. Again, it's kind of hit and miss down there, but again, your best bet is go to the right over here at the Point Pleasant area. We're going to stay right here at the Kanawha County Cemetery, okay? And all we're going to do is head right back down to the Red Shack from where we first spawned in at. Now, if you come here just for the Mothman eggs, you don't even have to interact with the cultists, because again, they're usually up by the church. There's usually no one down here anymore. Okay? And here is your Mothman eggs right here. All you have to do is you go ahead and collect. And again, there's perfectly 3 just right here. Now, if you are brand spanking new to the game, never played before, you will come across stuff like this, okay? The same thing happens with brain fungus and glowing fungus, for example. You might think to yourself, the only reason why I mentioned it, because someone had mentioned a couple years back when I started making videos and thinking, I see the Mothman eggs there, Jim, but I can't pick them up. And again, it does the same thing with brain fungus and glowing fungus, okay? We just can't pick these up because somebody already had picked it up, or in our case, we already picked it up, right? Just kind of keep that in mind. And we also have a camp resource available to us for Mothman eggs, so we're going to head right back to our camp here real quick and take a look at that camp resource. I think I have it out, but I'm not 100% if I do or not. Thought I had put it out here. Let's see here. Oh, won't repair any structures. Yeah, it's a good chance that I don't have it in this one here. This particular camp. Thought I would have. Huh. Oh yeah, I do. It's over here. There we go. So it's called the Mothman Nest. Now, it doesn't pop up in the Atomic Shop very often. We actually got this as a special Halloween event challenge several years ago. I would say maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. And it was only available during that challenge. But they do it. It does appear in the Atomic Shop once in a while, I've been told. And as you can see, it'll passively collect 4 Mothman eggs while you play the game. Alright, so that's pretty good. Nice little camp resource there. Alright, so that leads us into the next one here. Sell Mothman egg omelettes to an NPC vendor 1. So one thing is first, Mothman egg omelet is a simple recipe you automatically learn by simply picking up a Mothman egg. So everyone should be able to do this. It's not a special recipe you have to buy or find. You automatically learn it by picking up a Mothman egg. It's that simple, okay? And then you have to cook the Mothman egg into a Mothman egg omelet at any cooking station and sell it to an NPC vendor, right? So I just showed you some great locations where you get your Mothman eggs. Let's go ahead. We're going to go to our cooking station. Again, any cooking station will do. I'm going to go all food to the quick and dirty, and you can see there Mothman egg omelet. Simple recipe you automatically learn by picking up a Mothman egg. All right, let's go ahead and craft all 3 of them, because why not? There we go. And that counted as a meat-based meal, believe it or not, so that's pretty cool. All right, so now that we have our Mothman egg omelet, what are we supposed to do with the gem? Sell it to an NPC vendor. So an NPC vendor is any robot vendor at any train station on the map, any robot vendor down at the White Spring Mall. We do have other vendors, like we have Vendor Bot Resin here at the Pleasant Valley Ski Resort, Vendor Bot Phoenix down here at the Botoka Shopping Plaza. We have the Fisherman and Captain Raymond Clark here at the Fisherman's Rest. We have the Sunny Top Twins here, right over here in Foundation. Mortimer up in Crater. We have our old pal Vendorbot Bob, or old pal Bob there at the White Church in Flatwoods. We have the Duchess up here in Waywarner. Now, of course, if you are a ghoul like myself, you will need to put a disguise on. And, of course, we have Graham. You know, we came across Graham a little bit earlier. He's an NPC vendor. traveling merchants. We have all kinds of options there for us. So let's pop into the Morgantown station here. And we're going to do it that way. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to go in here. And again, you do have to cook the Mothman egg omelet. You try to sell the Mothman egg as is, it's not going to work.
Supplies available here.
Selling this omelet here. All right, done just like that. Sell Mothman egg omelet to an NPC vendor. One, just like that. Pretty awesome. All right, let's take a look at the next one here, Gem. While we are on the subject here, cook a meat-based meal 5. So again, a Mothman egg omelet counted as a meat-based meal, which is quite something. And again, don't get this confused with collect. Okay, we actually have to cook a meat-based meal. So if you do have camp resources, if you collect from them, it's not going to work. You actually have to go out the old-fashioned way, collect some meat or some objects like we did with the Mothman eggs, and cook it. All right. And one of the best spots for that is, of course, right down here through Flatwoods, but you can go after Mirelurks, you can go after insects if you so wish. I recommend Flatwoods just because of the sheer easiness of it. Is nice low level, nice quiet area. There's 9 Brahmin here in total. There's 2 rad roaches right behind us here where you spawn in, right at the little bus shelter right there. There's 3 mole rats there and a possum. There's 3 more mongrels up the road. Look, to see the mole rats there. Again, 9 Brahmin here. There's 2 more opossums down this way. It's a pretty good spot. All right, let's turn our light on here. See what we were doing. Take care of old Betsy. And again, as soon as you harvest this Brahmin meat like this, burp, you learn ribeye steak automatically. Okay? And that is the vast majority of the recipes we have here in game. We automatically learn by either harvesting the vegetables or by harvesting the meat from killing animals or insects or Mirelurks, etc. Okay? So there's our 3 Brahmin right there, and again, all kinds of Brahmin here. We're going to head right down to our cooking stations right down here. All right, and then there's Mr. Opossum right there. We're going to go ahead to our cooking station. Anyone will do. Then we go to all food. Quick and dirty. Again, ribeye steak, a simple recipe you automatically learn by picking up Brahmin meat. Oh. There we go. Cook a meat-based meal, 5 for 5, done. Just like that. It's that simple. All right, good stuff. Let's take a look at the next one here, Gem. Now, talking about that meat-based meal before we continue on, you can go ahead and do this even if you're a carnivore, okay? They're just daily, weekly challenges. Don't waste a reroll. Go ahead and do the daily, weekly challenge. You'll get credit for it, okay? Let's go ahead. Kill a cryptid before we do this one here. Kill a cryptid 1. So again, many types of cryptids we have here in the game. We have the grafted monster. We have wendigos. We have snallygazzers, just to name a couple of them, okay? And I prefer the grafted monsters because they're pretty squishy, okay? There's one just south of Hemlock Holes, right about this area right here. There'll be one right here in between the Charleston train yard and the Charleston station, a little dumping ground. There'll be one in between the Charleston Capitol building, level 50 building, and the Somerville's Den, the little black river here will kind of pop up out of the river. So those are 3 great spots to find the grafted monster that are pretty squishy. Sometimes if you come here to the White Spring Golf Club, you'll see a little parking lot just near the side of the tennis courts there. Again, there'll be a grafted monster, but he's a little bit higher level. He's usually diseased, so he's a little bit more of a challenge. In terms of wendigos, we have Lewisburg, Bornright Air Purifier Site number 3, 3 Ponds, right about here of the Dark Hollow Manor. Another good spot is up here at the Haven Church. And a Wendigo Cave, again, very high level area. Recommend you bring a friend, or if you know what you're doing, if that way there, you can go there. Now, sometimes if you come up here to the Freddy Fierce House of Scares, there'll be Kill a Wendigo wearing a clown costume, and then that way there'll be a Wendigo there. But always remember that depending on the server that you're on, sometimes the game will actually substitute the Wendigo with a bloated glowing one, so just kind of keep that in mind. Now, in terms of snallygazzers, there's 2 here in Charleston, one right here in Charleston at the bridge, and one a little bit further down towards the Charleston Capitol building, the scorched side, the level 20, I think it is. 50% chance here at Kitty Corner Cabins. There'll be 4 of them up there. Of course, we have the triplets over here at the ArtisticallyArranged Meet and Go. And of course, right down here at the Flighted Train Yard, 6 of them down here. So all kinds of great options there for us. So let's go right down here to Charleston Station, and we'll take care of that guy down here. Right across this little bridge here. Let's log and load. Oh. Let's log and load here, Jimmy. You should be right down here. Right in the old blowhole should do. Oh my lord, guys, really? Oh lord. Wow, that is quite the punch, wasn't it? Oh man. Okay, why isn't he shooting? It's not letting me shoot. Okay, there we go. Now it's letting me shoot. There we go. I don't know what was going on there. That is weird. I was hitting the button and it wasn't shooting. He was fully loaded. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So there's our cryptid right there. And again, this guy here usually has a piece of armor or a weapon on him. So that's pretty cool. That was quite majestic, wasn't it? That was quite something to watch. Go ahead and collect that. There we go. Awesome possum. All right, let's see. Yeah, the last one here, eat a cooked meal 10. So again, it can be a meat-based meal. It can be a plant-based meal. It can be from a camp resource that we have available to us. And again, you can check that out if you so wish. Wow, these guys are unbelievable. So let's go after some plant-based meals here. Again, Silva Homestead, Billings Homestead, Cobbleton Farm, south of Aaronhold Homestead there, that little field there. Right around the corner from Big Al's Tattoo Parlor under the overpass, we have that red barn there. Right out behind the General's Steakhouse right here, excuse me, sorry. Just before you enter in Foundation, so when you spawn in, you go up the driveway. Before you enter Foundation, there's a little patch there on the right-hand side, on the other side of the wall there. It's pretty good. And of course, a lot of unmarked farms right down this little roadway down here. All right, so it's really up to you where you want to go. And again, if you have some crops in a couple of your camps, or if you have a camp dedicated to that, that'll definitely help you out there as well. Let's go to Silva Homestead here real quick, and we'll pick up some corn. And we'll get some plant-based meal items just to kind of show you, the old-fashioned way. I see that, there's been making videos for a while. There's a good little combination of people that like to do things the old-fashioned way. There's people like to do things the quick and easy way. So I like to kind of satisfy both type of players. Okay. So again, as we're harvesting these vegetables, just one sec. As we're harvesting these vegetables here, I am picking up 2 instead of 1. That's because of a perk card that I have under Perception. It is called Green Thumb Retouch as much when harvesting flora. Okay. And of course, right down the road there, we have Billings Homestead, all kinds of razor grain right down here. Okay. Again, in terms of meat-based meals, we went right to Flatwoods. It's probably one of the best spots. You can also go after Mirelurks. You can go after insects, whatever you like to do. But we did get our Brahmin right down here through Flatwoods. You can check that out. Just go back a couple timestamps here. So let's head back here to our camp, and we're going to cook this stuff up here. So again, it's got to be a meal. Okay, it doesn't matter what meal, plant-based, meat-based, doesn't matter. All right, let's go ahead here. All right, let's go ahead and cook this stuff up here. Now, I might need boiled water, but I'm not too sure. We go all food here, and again, corn soup is a simple recipe you automatically learn by picking up corn, all right? Just like the Brahmin meat, we learned the ribeye steak. We learned corn soup from picking up corn. It is that simple, okay? So let's go ahead. We're going to cook some of these guys up here. There we go. Nice. So that's really the old-fashioned way. We did the same thing with the Brahmin steak. Sorry, the ribeye steak with the Brahmin meat down in Flatwoods. All right, so let's take a look at a couple of camp resources available to us. So this Soul Soup server is actually available in the Season 22 Season Pass. I did a little video on it there a couple of weeks ago. Again, it'll passively collect different types of herbivore diet meals. And again, we got some corn soup here, other types of soup you guys have seen me grab. And again, there's no, we can grab one from there, but it's the same soup that we just basically crafted there the old-fashioned way. But again, if you do have this camp resource, it will just save you a couple of steps, basically. Okay. Let's take a look at another good one here. It is this Raider Mirelurk boil. Very similar to the Mirelurk steamer. They're the exact same thing. And not only collects meat, but cooks it at the same time. Meat-based meal, cooked meal. Okay. Pemmican collector we got back in Season 17. So if you played way back then, you may have this available to you. Again, pemmican, meat-based meal, cooked meal. Same thing with this critter cooker, meat-based meal, cooked meal. And this Deathclaw slow roaster, this was actually in the Atomic Shop last week, and some of you had mentioned in the comments that you had bought it based on the videos that I make. Highly recommend it. Again, meat-based meal, cooked meal, and this stuff collects it, so it just saves you like 2 or 3 steps by having these camp resources. And even if you are a herbivore mutation, you don't need all these camp resources, you just need basically one. I have them because I like to kind of show them off to people, to show them what's available to them, okay? If it ever arises. You know, people are always looking for a deal in the shop. But again, these just save you a whole whack of time. And even if you're a herbivore, you can eat these meat-based meals, but there's still a meal and it will count for the daily weekly challenge. Okay, we've proven that it countless times. Okay, so just to show you here under stats and effect that I am a carnivore mutation. Okay, so let's go ahead here. We're going to start off with the corn soup. It's a plant-based meal here, so you see how that counts. Okay, you could do the same thing if you're a herbivore with the meat-based meal items. Okay, let's eat another one here. Go down the food and drink. All right, so again, let's scroll down here. We have our pemmican. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and collect. We're going to collect some Mirelurk jerky and the Mirelurk fillets. I'm going to grab a grilled rat toad here from this guy. Let's go ahead and check those under the new section. So there's our grilled rat toad from our Deathclaw slow roaster. There's our Mirelurk fillets from our little Mirelurk steamer or boiler, whatever we have going on there now. There's our Mirelurk jerky. Okay. And then food and drink, we have our ribeye steak. We got the old-fashioned way. We'll finish it up there. There we go. Eat a cooked meal, 10 for 10. Done. Just like that. But again, you can see, you know, the old-fashioned way. You can go around, enjoy the game, have some fun. Or if you have really short on time, we all live the real-life grind. Sometimes we just don't have a whole lot of time, but that's why I like to kind of show these off, that you can quickly get these done very easily. And I think we're done here. We are just like that. Pretty awesome. Pretty good little score boost going on there, so that's awesome as well. Let's take a look at weapon of the day here. Fact Finder, +1 projectiles, +75% damage. Projectiles explode for +20% weapon damage. -35% action point cost. Hard receiver, stabilized bow barrel, aligned grip, reflex sight circle, blue camouflage paint. 238 times 2 damage, 44 ammo. And again, you can get this pretty awesome weapon for free by completing the Brotherhood of Steel quest line. I believe it's the 3rd or 4th quest in. I can't remember the name of it. But I do have that here on the channel, but you can get this for free. And I recommend hanging on to it, put it in your stash box. Nice little weapon for sure. In terms of perk cards here, guys, again, nothing real special here. Using the same kind of loadout for pretty much everything lately. Again, I do have a gunslinger build that I used to use for this weapon and pistols like it, but it pretty much cuts the damage in half. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. These are my legendary perk cards. Again, these don't change for me. Very happy with them, and as you can see, they're all maxed out. Armor, even though it doesn't look like I'm wearing armor, I am. Let's take a look at that real quick here. We have the Aristocrats Ultralight Secret Service left arm, Chameleon Ultralight Secret Service left leg, Mutants Ultralight Secret Service right arm, Resistant Secret Service under armor, Troubleshooters Ultralight Secret Service right leg, Vanguard Jetpack Secret Service chest piece. Right on. Now, weekend is coming up, and I do have the weekend off. I'm going to try to make a live stream for the Spooky Skort. I'm going to try my best, but we'll see how the days go here. I don't think we have anyone working on the house in the weekend, but we'll see what happens. If it happens, it happens. But just a little FYI there. But I do have a video I'll have at the end of this one that I made last year in 2024. You can utilize that for this year because it's the same thing, okay? And I do have older videos too, but I recommend using the one I made last year. We go over the spooky treat bags, opening them up, etc. So there you guys go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and share when you have the chance. It really helps me out. I'd like to thank my channel members, Artistically Arranged, Michael Edwards, Nigel Wiffen, Heather, Whitetribe, Mr. Shelton, Drake Stamps, NotMeButMeYesMeThatsMe, Drew Andrew, Waywarner, John DJ59, Picquerist, Gwen Trutnau, 20 Watson, FelixTheKat, Dan Ferreira, Benny Bunny, AJ Folt, Adolfo Perez, Ozzy's One, Ricardo 186, Eric R. Shepard. Thank you so very much, and I hope you all have a nice day.